SSM to seek clarification on status of 1MDB audit reports. One Malaysia clinics to be upgraded into community clinics. Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mohanapriya. You're watching News on 2. Former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak claims the value of the seized goods, especially jewellery, quoted by the police in its investigation into it as subjective and unrealistic. He says the assessment was subjective because there were jewellery that had been around for 20 years. In an exclusive interview with the Malaysia Kini news portal, Datuk Seri Najib also said that the valuation of the goods that were purchased should also be taken into account as they change from time to time. He further noted that he was not given a full list of items seized during a raid at his house in Jalan Duta and 3 condominium units at Pavilion Residences in Kuala Lumpur last month. Yesterday, Federal Commercial Crime Investigation Department or CCID Director Datuk Seri Amar Singh said the value of all items seized from 6 premises linked to the former Premier was worth between 900 million and 1.1 billion ringgit. The Companies Commission Malaysia SSM will be seeking further clarification from auditing company KPMG on the status of audit reports of One Malaysia Development Berhad or 1MDB's financial statements following news reports that the statements between 2010 and 2012 were inaccurate. In a statement, SSM said as the corporate regulator tasked with the enforcement of the Companies Act 2016, it views the media reports with concern. SSM added that it will ensure that necessary and immediate action is taken to comply with the Companies Act 2016. This action may include having the relevant parties rectify the financial information filed with the company's registrar. Meanwhile, KPMG has indirectly suggested discrepancies in the 1MDB financial statements for the years ended March 31st, 2010 to March 31st, 2012. KPMG was the company's auditor during the 3 years in question before being dismissed by the board. It added that the Auditor General had carried out a review and audit of issues associated with 1MDB, and the report was sealed under the Official Secrets Act 1972, which was recently declassified. After carefully reviewing the declassified report, KPMG Malaysia wrote to 1MDB on June 8th to immediately take all the necessary steps to prevent any further or future reliance on the audit reports prepared by KPMG for the financial years ended March 31st, 2010 to March 31st, 2012. KPMG Malaysia said it will continue to fully cooperate with all relevant authorities investigating matters associated with 1MDB and will not comment further. UMNO needs to be open, democratic and must prioritise improving all their weaknesses according to the wants of their members. UMNO presidential candidate Tengku Razaleigh Hamzah said each and every view raised by those at grassroots level must be scrutinised by leaders at all levels, which can become the basis of policy formulation among other matters.
Daripada masa-masa yang sudah, dia orang tak mau dengar top to bottom lagi. Mau dari bottom to up supaya setiap pandangan daripada akar umi terutama sekali ataupun pandangan yang disuarakan oleh akar umi bagi pihak rakyat bawahan diteliti oleh pimpinan setiap peringkat.
Tengku Razaleigh, who is also the Gua Musang MP, said this to reporters following a Meet the People session in Ipoh, Perak. The 2 other leaders contesting for the presidency this Saturday are Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and Khairi Jamaluddin. The e-bidding system for the special Malaysia series vehicle number plates will be implemented for the first time on August 1st in conjunction with the Merdeka Month. Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook said that a local company had offered to implement the e-bidding system for free as a corporate social responsibility.
Kerana ini memberikan satu kelebihan. Saya difahamkan kalau bidding yang sebelum ini, kalau kita membuat bidding secara konvensional, siapa-siapa yang nak bid nombor itu, mereka perlu membayar 50% deposit melalui bank draft. Kalau mereka tak menang bid itu, proses untuk mengembalikan deposit itu kadang-kadang mengambil masa 2-3 bulan. Tetapi melalui online dia lain. Melalui online dia everything will be through credit card. So dia hanya holding saja. So kalau bid itu mereka tak menang, they won't have to pay anything.
Lok spoke at a press conference after chairing his ministry's post-cabinet meeting in Putrajaya yesterday, adding that the name of the local information technology company will be announced during the launch session. If the service runs successfully, Lok said he is committed to carrying on the open tender system for vehicle registration numbers online in the future. Meanwhile, on another matter, Lok said the Transport Ministry will not be implementing any cash for clunkers or the program to get users to scrap cars that are more than 10 years old for cash in the near future. According to Lok, due to the public outcry, the ministry will stop the study on the matter and focus will now be on dealing with abandoned vehicles.
Maka tadi dalam mesyuarat POSCAP bersama dengan Kementerian Pengangkutan, saya telah mengarahkan supaya program ini, kajian ini to be postponed indefinitely. Maksudnya kita tak perlu lagi mengkaji kemungkinan program ini sebab nampaknya kita belum bersedia dan memang saya rasa pelaksanaan ini sukar untuk dilaksanakan pada ketika ini dan kita tak perlu membuang masa untuk mengkaji program ini. So this program is off. So there's no such implementation cash for clunkers program.
Lok added that the ministry is looking into the Road Transport Department issuing deregistration certificates for abandoned vehicles in housing areas nationwide. He said at present, local authorities could not take action and scrap these vehicles as they are still technically registered. Lok said the issue is important as these abandoned vehicles can cause health and environmental problems in housing areas. One Malaysia clinics will likely be upgraded and rebranded as community clinics, or in certain places may even be closed, depending on the suitability of the locations. Health Minister Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said his ministry will also carry out a study to find out if the clinics fulfill two main requirements, namely to have at least 50 patients a day and occupy an area of more than 1,400 square feet.
Untuk meningkatkan kualiti perkhidmatan yang ditawarkan di Klinik Satu Malaysia, Kementerian akan melengkapkan Klinik Satu Malaysia dengan pegawai perubatan dan menambah baik perkhidmatan farmasi dengan menempatkan beberapa pegawai farmasi atau sekurang-kurangnya penolong pegawai farmasi secara berfasa.
Dr. Zulkifli, however, added that where the One Malaysia clinics do not meet the requirements for the upgrade, but there is still a need for health services, the ministry will then conduct a re-study of the operating hours to ensure the clinic's facilities are fully capitalized. Now, the Health Ministry has enforced strict regulations on the sardine brand from China, which was reported to contain worms. According to its Director General, Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, despite it being an isolated case, the ministry is not taking chances and has issued a directive to enforce thorough screening on all imported food.
Kita pun telah maklumkan dan brand tersebut pun kita ambil tindakan tak import sardin daripada China. Tapi bukan sardin Malaysia.
On May 14th, the Malaysian Quarantine and Inspection Services seized 2 containers carrying sardine cans infested with worms, weighing an estimated 36,720 kilograms, valued at about 200,000 ringgit. The Ranesa brand canned mackerel tomato sauce from China was brought in through the North Butterworth Container Terminal in Pulau Pinang and have since been returned to its port of origin. To date, no cases have been reported of any individual falling ill after consuming the contaminated sardines. The government believes that the state's e-commerce ecosystem can be further strengthened under the tutelage of Alibaba's founder and executive chairman, Jack Ma. Pulau Pinang Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow said the state would benefit fully from the experience of the Chinese business magnate and hopefully encourage him to make long-term investments in the state.
The state government has already written officially to Mr. Jack Ma's office in Kuala Lumpur and invite him to pay a visit to Penang to look at our ecosystem with regard to digital commerce, because it is also one important agenda of the Penang state government We are working on the digital transformation of the state of Penang, and definitely we can benefit from Mr. Jack Ma's experience.
The Chief Minister said this after receiving a courtesy call from Minister Counselor of the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Malaysia, Chen Chen, at the Komta building in Pulau Pinang. 9 historical lanes around the federal capital have been identified as part of an upgrading program worth 300,000 ringgit. The initiative is part of a collaborative effort between Kuala Lumpur City Hall, DBKL, and Think City to create safe, clean, functional, and attractive laneways. Think City's Program Director for Kuala Lumpur and Johor Bahru, Dr. Neil Kaur, said the selected lanes are Lorong Bandar 13, Lorong Lebuh Ampang, Lorong Hang Lekiu, Lorong Tun HS Lee South, Lorong Yap Ah Loy, Lorong Pudu, Lorong Tun Tan Cheng Lock, and Lorong Hang Kasturi South.
So the idea here is that if we improve these laneways, and we've seen it with our own eyes from the last 6 months of experimentation, it is now more used by the commercial workers here. So last time people, would avoid it. Now they're actually using it because they feel safer.
Dr. Neil also said that these lanes were selected based on its connectivity with main roads and the potential to improve its existing use by the people. He said this to reporters at the Lorong Bandar 13 groundbreaking ceremony, which was officiated by Bukit Bintang Member of Parliament Fong Kui Lin. The murder trial of the estranged half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Chol, or Kim Jong-nam, resumed yesterday, with the defense counsel telling the High Court that the prosecution had failed to prove the two accused had the common intention to commit the killing. Lawyer Gui Sun Seng, who is representing Indonesian Siti Aisyah, 26, said the mens rea element, or the defendant's intent, has not been proven, and it was a very shoddy investigation by the investigation officer. Gui said his client, who was never jointly charged with the second accused Vietnamese Duong Thi Huong, 29, instead was charged with 4 North Koreans who are still at large. He added that the 4 North Koreans should be investigated as evidence pointed to them as the masterminds of the planned murder that took place at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport 2, KLIA 2, last year. Meanwhile, counsel Hisham Tepo Tek, representing Duong, said the prosecution failed to prove that the North Koreans were not involved in the murder, as all the evidence pointed to the contrary, and the accused had no motive to commit the murder. Hence, any sentencing imposed on the accused will not be just, because the 4 North Korean masterminds were not involved in the trial. The 2 Chinese tourists who danced provocatively in front of the city mosque in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah last Saturday were each fined 25 ringgit by the Kota Kinabalu Magistrates Court. Magistrate Cindy Balitus read out the punishment after both women, who were unrepresented, pleaded guilty to the charge. Wan Han, 37, and Zhang Na, 25, both dance coaches, were compounded according to Section 15 of Sabah Minor Offences Ordinance for disorderly behaviour in public. They were accused of committing the offence at the top of the mosque cement wall at 4 p.m. on June 23rd. Both of them then left the country at around 8 p.m. yesterday after paying the fines. The 10-second viral video of the 2 women was criticised by netizens, and a police report was filed by a non-governmental organisation for further action. A man was handed the death sentence by the Kota Bharu High Court for shooting and killing the owner of a hardware shop in Bacho. High Court Judge Dato Ahmad Bache handed down the sentence to Anwar Muhammad, also known as Noor Ayam, aged 40, when the defence failed to raise reasonable doubt in the prosecution's case. According to the charges, Noor Ayam was accused of shooting with the intent to kill Mustafa Siddiq, 53, at the latter's shop in Bacho at 5:50 p.m. on February 5, 2015. For the offence, he was prosecuted under Section 3 of the Firearms Act 1971, which carries the death penalty. The prosecution was led by Deputy Public Prosecutor Shahar Aliza Abdul Razak, and the accused was represented by attorney Nordiana Muhammad. Noor Ayam had topped the police most wanted list of criminals in Kelantan for his involvement in 23 cases of robbery, extortion and rape. An assistant civil engineer attached to the Negeri Sembilan Works Department was remanded for 4 days on suspicion of corruption and abusing his power. The 42-year-old suspect is believed to have solicited and received 18,000 ringgit in installments for expediting completion acknowledgement for the work done by a company between January 2012 to May 2013. The said company was selected as the contractor for the Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Rantau Badminton Hall worth 2.2 million ringgit. The remand order was issued by Magistrate Rahimah Rahim at the Seremban Magistrates Court. The case is being investigated under Section 17, subsection A of the MECC Act 2009. In our top story today, SSM to seek clarification on status of 1MDB audit reports due to discrepancies in financial statements. News on 2 will come on again at 7 this evening with more updates. Till then, I'm Mohana Priya. Thanks for watching.